You're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
With your host, Beto Barragan.
And we all know that when the good Lord created man, he meant for him to look just like me.
And Alex Lewicki.
The tower of power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place.
The podcast made by fans for wrestling fans.
One sweet, one sweet, one sweet, one sweet.
You're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast. Good evening, you beautiful people who are listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast. It is I, your host, Beto Barragan, and with me as always,
the Wikipedia of wrestling information, Alex Lewicki.
I like that.
You like that, right?
That was awesome. Dude, so where you been?
Well, I finally got a nice vacation off from our normal 9 to 5. I went, my parents flew out here for a week from California.
Right on.
Yeah, it was good times.
Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Lewicki.
Yeah. Hey, Mom and
Yes.
Dad. If you're listening to this, I'm glad you got it.
They're not
home.
listening. You know they're not.
I'll send this to them. Don't worry.
Okay.
So I'm glad they got home safe. They had a really good time. They finally got to see our new digs. They got to go see a new part of Texas they've never been to. I've never been up to Dallas or the Fort Worth area.
Right on.
Dude, I'm going to take a page out of anybody that's listening from New York right now. It was brick. It was the coldest weather I've been in while living in Texas.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
It was 28 degrees. It was rainy. We kind of hit some ice going through Waco. So, yeah, a little crappy.
I'm glad you guys made it back okay. Did
Yeah,
you see
me
any
too.
cool sights out there?
I got to see the assassination.
From JFK?
Yeah. I've always wanted to see that. And the funny part was there was a guy that was trying to sell us a magazine about the conspiracy theory.
Oh, wow.
And I started telling him stuff.
Oh, and
we
it blew his
kinda
mind?
we started. He's like, "Oh yeah. If you point right there, that's what you just said." I was like, "Yeah, I know my
That's
stuff, dude. Don't worry about
wild,
it. I listen to
dude.
the Joe Rogan podcast." Dog.
That's pretty cool, dude. Yeah, dog. Let me tell you something, dog. Oh, man. That's pretty cool, dude. Like, see, I've lived in Texas my entire life, and I've never, well, I take that back. I've been to Dallas, went to a Dallas Cowboy game, but we didn't get to, like, sightsee and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wish that we actually did.
Road trip.
Oh, man, that'd
Road
be
trip.
fun, man. That'd be so wild. Yeah, man. Like, I've always wanted to check out. I guess it's a morbid curiosity for a lot of people to want to check out the JFK.
Yeah, and it's funny
You know
because
what I
it's
mean?
still a street people drive on,
Uh-huh.
but it's just a street, and you're like, "Okay, this happened 50 plus years ago,"
Yeah.
and you're just like, "Wow, that's where somebody just got straight murked." Like,
But that's
it's U.S. history.
yeah.
Dude, that's world history.
Yeah, it is. It
That's-
is.
I don't
Funny
know.
thing, I was watching, and I'm sorry, man. I've been watching a lot of like The Crown lately.
Oh,
with my
okay.
girlfriend Jerry Ashley. So like we just finished it. It's amazing. If you haven't seen
You finished the whole show?
dude, we binged it and we've done.
You know
It's
my
done.
wife, she's still on episode 2, but that's only because my parents came out. So
We might just like end up having another podcast where we just dedicate it to the crowd, everything. But we could relate it to wrestling.
That's true.
There's a lot of characters. I think life goes back to wrestling.
Life is wrestling.
Life is a wrestling match.
There's a new T-shirt. Life is wrestling.
Life is wrestling. All right, you heard it first. Well, we're gonna have a T-shirt that says "Life is
We're
wrestling."
copywriting it if anybody tries to take us.
That's right. That's right, Bruce Pritchard.
We know people. Speaking of Bruce Pritchard,
Yes.
shout out to our a friend of the podcast, To Be the Man Comics.
Yes, for sure. Let's just jump into the headlines. That's a headline in itself.
For sure.
Yeah, To Be the Man Comics was a guest on our last episode
Yes.
of One Sweet Wrestling Podcast. Jared Davis, the creator, was on the show, and we spoke to him about like just, you know, how do you put together a comic and your history with it and everything, and of course love of wrestling and whatnot. But yeah, man, they're being put over by Bruce Pritchard, aka Brother Love, on the Morning Deuce with Bruce. So definitely support them at www.tobethemancomic.com for updates. Get yourself a comic from them. The illustrations are amazing. It's a fun read, very reminiscent of the Territory days. Mix in some zombies and demons. Loads of fun.
You know who should be their champion?
Who?
And I'm not saying this as, hey, you guys need to write this.
Yeah.
Ash.
Oh, from The Evil Dead?
Yeah, dude. Zombies.
Dude, that'd
80s.
be sick.
I'm just saying.
It'd be a nice crossover, I think.
One day.
I dig it. But another headline, and by the way, happy belated Valentine's Day.
Yes, to you too.
Yes.
I hope you had a good
It was good.
a good golden Valentine's Day.
Oh, because why? The Golden Lovers are reunited. If you don't know who the Golden Lovers are, they're the tag team of Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. They're going to be reuniting at the Honor Rising cards on February 23rd and 24th, taking place at Tokyo's. I'm going to butcher this.
Hold on, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
Karokin Hall.
Karokin Hall?
Karokin Hall.
Karokin Hall.
Yes.
Night one, we're going to be seeing Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and recent Bullet Club member Chase Owens. I don't know much about Chase Owens.
I saw him in the Battle Royal during Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
He's a really good wrestler. The only reason I think he's not getting a big push as far as the Bullet Club's going right now is because he's not on like a Ring of Honor, or he's not really on a main company besides New Japan. But no, he's a really good wrestler. So I think this is going to be good for him to get more exposure in the mainstream.
That's cool, man. And I mean, he's going to be teaming up with the Golden Lovers, taking on Cody, Marty Scurll, and Hangman Page on night 2. The Golden Lovers will have a traditional tag team match. I don't know if you can call it traditional with all this stuff going on with the Bullet Club right now. Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi versus Marty Scurll and Cody. One person who may not be as excited as fans are for this is Marty Scurll, who took to social media and posted a picture of the tag team match stating, "I didn't sign up for this." What are your thoughts on that?
Well, let me ask you this.
Sure.
First of all, this match is going to be awesome. I think Marty Scurll, hopefully he plays the villain that he is. I would like for him to... I think he's a great wrestler.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to happen is the story is going to maybe overshadow the match.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they still... Unfortunately, New Japan is going to fall into this problem of Ring of Honor has a show in about 2 months that they have to kind of continue to build.
Yeah.
And this is kind of step one in that build besides the initial turn by Cody.
Right.
So what I can see is a great match, but ultimately maybe a disqualification. So it's going to lead to something else.
Yeah, it's got to be a bigger story than what it. I mean, especially with All In coming up, right?
Exactly.
So lots of cool stuff happening out of there.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Did you watch the last Being the Elite?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So they made mention of a possible villain club.
Yeah, I was actually
What do
very
you
curious
think about that?
So, if Marty does go through with that, if he does pull that off, British wrestlers.
And yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I think we're on the same wavelength. I think there's a... Sorry for interjecting.
Yeah, no.
I think there's enough wrestlers in Progress Wrestling, in Evolve, that he can start recruiting. And this just further helps the storyline of the Bullet Club runs the wrestling business.
Yeah.
Because you get wrestlers in England where the NWO never had wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
You have wrestlers in Japan. You've got wrestlers in America.
Yeah.
You can start implementing maybe Mexico because that's where Los Ingobernables started.
Yeah.
So eventually you're going to see a worldwide Bullet Club.
Wouldn't it be interesting to see Simon Gotch in the Villain Club?
Wouldn't be a bad move.
It's not too far-fetched.
It's kind of written in the stars. Well, I heard something recently that, speaking of people that were supposed to randomly be in the Bullet Club, Hulk Hogan was almost a member of the Bullet Club in this last Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
The only reason he wasn't is because he requested too much money.
Right.
I think New Japan was only willing to pay him $200,000, and for us, here's the thing: he was only going to be a one-night guest.
Yeah.
He wanted $700,000. Which, look, you're Hulk Hogan, you definitely deserve it, but at the same time, New Japan, I think, made the right choice in going, look, we're going to go a different area. But I digress. I think this match between the Golden Lovers and Cody and Marty Scurll is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
I'm wanting to see a bigger story come out of this. I think there will be.
I'm also looking forward to the new finisher that they came up with, the Golden Lovers.
Oh.
It's the best way I can describe it, if you can picture this in your mental mind.
Okay.
The opponent is sitting on the floor.
Okay.
Each of the Golden Lovers has an arm.
Okay.
And each member knees the opponent in the chin.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
It's a 2-on-1 move.
Like a knee strike or something.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Dang.
it looked pretty cool. They posted
Yeah.
it on Instagram. It looked like a pretty awesome team move. And
Definitely gonna have to check that out.
yeah, I think Kenny is definitely moving one step further in his career. And
Yeah,
this is really
definitely.
Cool to see.
This is definitely going to put him, if he isn't already, put him in the higher echelon with a lot of bigger names. Well, not I want to say bigger, but well-known household names.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
No, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, man, lots of cool stuff happening out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. But speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling
And household names.
Rey Mysterio made his presence via video screen a la Chris Jericho and issued a challenge, very respectfully, might I add, to the legendary Jushin Thunder Liger.
Now, if you know anything about myself in Japanese wrestling,
This is your like wet dream, bro. This is your like this is all you.
now this is a rematch that they had from I think 15 or 20 years ago at a pay-per-view. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're both, I would say, in their twilight of their career. Jushin Liger much more so.
Right.
They're going to have a safe match, but I think at the same time they both know how to work very well and very smart. And in front of a Japanese crowd, they're not going to have to do much to have these people on their feet.
Oh man.
I love Jushin Liger. He's actually one of the big reasons I got into Japanese wrestling, and I've always been a Rey Mysterio fan, especially from the WCW days. So to see him progress his career and look for another challenge, and I don't think this is going to be an ongoing thing for him. I think it's going to be like his.
You think it's a one-off
I think it's. I don't want to
for
say
Rey or for Jushin?
No, Jushin Liger can wrestle for a while because he's really
Yeah.
not wrestling much more than like tag teams.
Yeah.
So what I think this is, I don't want to say it's a farewell tour or a retirement tour. I think it's more of a what's the word I'm thinking of?
Like a milestone kind of thing?
Yeah,
Or-
bucket list.
Okay.
He's bucket listing.
Oh, yeah.
Royal Rumble again.
Well, dude, you know who's got to be on that list now?
Shoot it.
Jericho.
You know who I think he should have another match with?
Who?
Just Ultimo Dragon.
Dude. I remember those old
Right?
matches in WCW and like Mexico and ECW.
Yes.
They would always tear the house down.
Ultimo Dragon, I believe, still lives in Mexico.
I think he's still wrestling in Mexico. Is
Rey
he?
Mysterio his family are like gods in Mexico.
Yeah.
So he could walk down there. Can you imagine him in the Azteca Stadium?
Just showing up.
Yeah.
That's all he has to do is show up.
he could headline everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm super excited for this to happen.
That's amazing. Another debut.
But here, let me ask
Oh.
you. Who do you think goes over?
I think Ray goes over, man.
I do too.
I think Ray goes over to go on to face Jericho.
That's interesting.
Because, I mean, two big former WWE guys. I mean, why not? And maybe we'll see Ray at the All In show.
That'd be interesting.
Maybe we see Jericho at All In.
I would put more money on Jericho.
You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, September's right around the corner, kind of. So
I'm going to throw this in because I don't think we're going to go over it.
Okay.
I just found out, and I want to say this is happening either this month or next month.
Okay.
2 Ring of Honor stars are going to be competing in New Japan for the first time.
Who's that?
The Beer City Bruiser and Flip Gordon.
Yeah.
I think both of them are prime candidates for the type of...
for New Japan?
Yes.
I think on that card on that Honor Rising card, Beer City Bruiser is actually on the card.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it's going to be... Yeah,
it's a
going to be
cross-promotion.
ROH. I can't wait to see Flip Gordon in New Japan. I
That's
think
gonna
he's
be
going to
awesome.
be in the Best of the Super Juniors this year.
Well, he's signed to WWE or going to be. Right?
Yeah, but if he is, I'd rather get this off my plate first.
Yeah.
Because this is one of those things that you can put on a milestone. Oh, by the way, this is Flip Gordon, one of the best cruiserweights in the world. How do you want to prove that? He wrestled the best cruiserweights in the world in the New Japan. This is what the Cruiserweight Classic wanted to be.
Okay.
So for him to be able to show his stuff in Japan, great timing.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Well, congrats to Flip, and looking forward to seeing that. But let me move on because we got quite a few more things to cover.
Yeah, man.
Another debut. Emma is now a member of the Ring of Honor roster
Great
under
move.
her birth name, Tennille Dashwood, as the 16th competitor in a tournament to crown the inaugural Women of Honor champion.
Great move.
I mean,
Great move by
I think
her.
she was on a 3-month no-compete clause, and now she's in Ring of Honor, and the crowd really great reception from the crowd. I saw some of the clips from the match. She looked great. No ring rust. I mean, lots of positive things coming out of that. I would love to see maybe even her taking a Amber O'Neal page and being a member of the. I just want everyone to be a member of the Bullet Club, but it would be very interesting to see her. It's interesting to see her, maybe her against Tennille Dashwood against Brandy Rhodes.
I just thought about that. Yeah.
Lots of cool avenues you can go. Deanna Peraza, Marty Scurll's girlfriend.
Hey.
You could have a lot of cool matches in Ring of Honor now.
Excuse me. No, great move by her. She's a definite talent that didn't get utilized well by the WWE. Great move, honestly. I can't say anything else besides that.
If anyone, I think she probably, I'm just going to make people mad here. I think anyone, maybe some people could agree with me. I'm going to say that she could have been the one to defeat Asuka with a proper build.
Yeah, if they booked her right.
Yeah, I think they could have done it. But hey, you know what? Moved on to greener pastures. She's in Ring of Honor. She's probably making some really good coin now.
I hope so.
Let's see where it goes.
Yes. I did hear a strange rumor that I hope isn't true.
Mm-hmm.
You can never know what's true on the internet, but this kind of raised an eyebrow for me.
Mm-hmm.
From what I heard, the plan for Ronda Rousey is for her to break Asuka's record.
We'll talk a little bit about Ronda Rousey. I have a little bone to pick with the Ronda Rousey signing.
Okay.
But let's just transition out of the realm of New Japan and ROH to the WWE Universe. A somber note, but a headline nonetheless. Jason Jordan received neck surgery on February 5th to address a disc injury in his neck. Recovery time is unforeseeable at this time. Reports are coming in. We're going to miss the former tag team champion at WrestleMania.
Yeah, unfortunately, there isn't much you can do about a gentleman's neck.
That's a very severe injury.
Yeah.
In any athletic competition or any for any athlete.
For anything physical.
Yeah, for anything physical.
What he does have is his youth.
Yeah.
He's not an old wrestler.
So it'll take a little faster to heal.
Right. He's kind of in the big cast right now. He blew out his ACL, but he's still young enough to where this is not going to end his career.
Right. I'm and it's no secret. I'm not hype on Jason Jordan. I don't like his character. I'm not a fan. I hope that he will prove me wrong someday. I don't wish any ill on any other person, but I will say, hey man, Jason Jordan, speedy recovery, positive vibes your way. Hopefully you bounce back up on your feet and get a second chance to wow us with the talents that you have. Because reality, he's a great wrestler. He's just given a crappy gimmick that he's got to work with. And I mean, there's a lot of guys that have that. I mean, you have Triple H, who was a blue blood at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had guys that had terrible gimmicks, and some of them, they sink or swim. I mean, some of them flourish, some of them flounder. I don't think, in my opinion, even as a non-fan of Jason Jordan, I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that flounders. I think he's going to come back from this injury stronger than ever and be a force to be reckoned with.
Jason Jordan, with this injury, gets the fortunate. He's going to get fortunate in the fact that he's going to be able to do something that I used to do when I used to get beat by M. Bison in Street Fighter.
Yeah,
I would reset.
Yeah.
I would reset. Yeah. He gets the opportunity to reset his character. By the time he comes back, the storyline of him being Kurt Angle's son should be well and dusted.
Yeah.
Nobody would want to bring that back up.
Right.
And he can come back without being member of the Shield. Dude, as they tried to pull.
He might just be coming back as a heel. I could see him coming back as a heel and being like straight up like, you weren't there for me when I had my neck surgery. Ooh, you got some drama. You've got like the old days, man. There used to be some good drama in wrestling.
And you have the continuity of, hey, this is the reason what happened. his neck got injured. You could play it up to anything you want. He got injured due to Roman Reigns. It got injured due to whomever you want, whoever you want to throw it on.
You could build up anything as far as that.
But yeah, he gets the opportunity to reset.
Let's end this. Let's blah blah blah.
Oh, on one other somber note,
Blah blah.
something that actually just broke today.
Sure.
Rich Swann was released by the WWE
Really?
on his birthday.
Oh man.
So kind of the CM Punk, you get released on your wedding day. Yeah. Not the greatest move by the WWE as far as his date is concerned,
Yeah.
but I think this is something that we saw coming.
Yeah.
We'll see him on the independents, I'm sure, but sad to see.
Sad to see it. But let's end these headlines on a high note. Remember Ivory?
Absolutely.
Ivory has been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. She's going to join the 2018 class with the Dudley Boys and Goldberg. So let me bring up some stats real quick before we kind of give our thoughts on that. She made her debut in 1986 as Tina Ferrari in the original Glow, Glorious Ladies of Wrestling. Wow. She made her debut in WWE, WWF in 1999, where she would become a 3-time women's champion. She had her stints in the indies, but she's been living a quiet life as a domestic pet care specialist since 2007.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Now she's a WWE Hall of Famer.
I wonder if she hangs out with the cat.
Wow.
See what I did there?
I did. I saw that.
Good for Ivory. For somebody that wrestles as long as she did, this is
well deserved.
Absolutely.
For sure. Congrats to Ivory.
If anybody needs to had a spotlight shown on them for being a trailblazer for the women in the WWF,
for sure, man.
She's one of them.
I mean, and I apologize to the ladies out there, but this was reality in the 90s of wrestling. This is what happened. She actually, and I forgot, and I left this off the stats for respect reasons. She actually made her debut in WWE. If you remember, she was one of the Godfather's hoes.
Huh.
She was part of the infamous quote-unquote Ho Train. Godfather, if you remember wrestling in the 90s, the Godfather would kind of like come out to the ring, and instead of wrestling matches sometimes, he would just go to the opponent and say, hey man, you get to go home with any one of these ladies. And if you remember, he brought out Ivory as a special attraction for Mark Henry when Mark Henry was Sexual Chocolate.
Oh, also rumored to be in the Hall of Fame soon.
Mark Henry?
Yes.
Very well deserved,
yes.
dude. I remember Mark Henry. Mark Henry was the man.
Yeah,
dude.
I recently heard something that he had been wrestling for 20 years straight.
Jeez.
20 years, man. But I digress.
He
that was a
deserves
little snippet of maybe what's to come. But yeah, Ivory, absolutely well deserved. Pioneer again, and congrats to her.
Yeah, congrats, Ivory. I think that wraps it for the headlines.
I do believe it wraps it up for the headlines.
And we'll be right back after this. If you're looking for a unique, clean, and comfortable shop to get your next tattoo, check out the artists at Galaveras Tattoos. They're located downtown San Antonio at 628 South St. Mary's, just north of Cesar Chavez. Galaveras is home to some of the best, most experienced tattoo artists in San Antonio, and the only shop in town with 4 female artists on staff. Established in 2005, Galaveras Tattoos offers a variety of styles and the highest quality tattoos with a price that won't hurt your budget. So stop by for a consultation or give them a call to schedule one. It's easy. 210-227-7673. That's 210-227-7673. Galaveras Tattoos, San Antonio's favorite tattoo shop.
This is Jared Davis, author of To Be the Man comic, and you're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
Thank you, Jared Davis from To Be the Man comic. Be sure to check them out at www.tobethemancomic.com and check them out on patreon.com/tobethemancomic. We are on the road to WrestleMania, Alex, and on the way to our destination, we must come to the Elimination Chamber. Sunday, February 25th, 2018 at the T-Mobile Arena in Paradise, Nevada. So, here are the events/matches so far, and I say events because one of the events is Ronda Rousey will sign or make her signing to Monday Night Raw. I am not a fan of this.
Do tell.
So, look, I get what they're trying to do. Ronda Rousey is a big attraction for the mainstream market. I don't think they've had quite a big a star since
Brock.
So, I get the crossover, the connection, UFC, Shayna Baszler, all that good stuff. That's all well and good. But why are they having Ronda Rousey signed to Raw at Elimination Chamber? It's a time waster.
Well, I think what they're doing is appeasing the fans that are saying, "Oh, she's only going to be a part-timer. She's only going to show up when they need her to." What they're doing right now is filling that void between the Royal Rumble and the inevitable match at WrestleMania.
Okay.
Because she's not going to be showing up on Raw until maybe after WrestleMania.
Got you.
So you can't have her off camera for 2 months and then let people go, "See, we told you. We told you she's not a full-time wrestler."
So you're arguing relevancy.
I am. It's obviously it's not going to be anything physical, but I
Right.
think it does start to set up the match for WrestleMania.
You make a valid point. I'm not going to discredit your argument there. But the thing is like, why not? I get it. But why not have her sign on Raw? Because that's the show she's going to be on. Get the ratings up, at least for that. I mean, really, like, do you really think that people from all other walks of life, if they're not a wrestling fan, are going to buy the WWE Network just to see Ronda?
But
Just to see her sign paper?
that's my issue. If it were an actual match,
Yes.
I could see it being more of a spectacle.
Well, I mean, when CM Punk fought in the UFC, I'm sure a lot of wrestling fans ordered it, if not went to places like Hooters, Twin Peaks, places like that, to see the fight.
But they didn't pay to see him sign a contract.
That's true.
So what I'm saying is that they're doing this just to get her face on TV and say, "Hey, remember, she's here for the long haul.
Right.
We're going to show you where she's eventually going to start off." I'm sure it's going to be with Stephanie, and they're going to start that match off. I don't have so much of an issue with her being there, but okay, I take this way. I don't have much of an issue with her being there as I had her with her positioning at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that was bad timing. Bad timing to do that. I mean, hey, look, we're fans. We're not the guys that write the stuff.
Right.
But
Yet.
But I think that there are a lot of people out there, wrestling fans in general, that would agree. Terrible spot to put her
For sure.
at the Rumble.
For
But
sure.
speaking of the Rumble winner, Asuka will be facing Nia Jax at Elimination Chamber. Speaking of relevancy, you gotta have, and I get it. I get this match totally, because Nia Jax is not involved into the Women's Elimination Chamber, which we'll get to. But I get that they want to feed Asuka somebody that's worth the spectacle.
I get it. They're
Yeah.
putting her because they need to throw her somewhere, but is it necessary?
It's not necessary, I don't think, but I think it's something to kind of showcase, look, this is the badassery of Asuka. They've been really hyping it up. Even on Raw, they had like a little segment or a montage, if you will, vignette. I like to use that word. It's fun. Of Asuka basically showing her stats. You know, she's undefeated. She's been here since 2015, and she's still undefeated, and she's going to remain undefeated. No one's ready for Asuka.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the buildup. But is Nia Jax going to be the one to end the streak? No.
And that's where the issue for this match comes up. Does anybody seriously think that the WWE is going to put the match? Okay.
Are they going to put stock in this match? Are they going to be invested in this match?
That's not even that. Are they going to choose this match at this arena in Paradise, Nevada, to be the match where Asuka loses?
Stranger things have happened.
There have been stranger things, but I think they're learning from their mistakes. They're learning
Okay.
that if you put a match like who was it? Charlotte's reign or something.
Right.
She's never been beat at a pay-per-view. And it was just a nothing pay-per-view, and it wasn't hyped up at all, and
Yeah.
it was just something that was an afterthought.
What was that pay-per-view that Bray Wyatt wrestled Randy Orton in the House of Horrors match?
That was WrestleMania.
Was it WrestleMania?
Yeah, man.
Oh, God. That's terrible.
I think it was.
No. Someone's going to have to check us
Does
on that.
Bray Wyatt not deserve to have a Mind Games pay-per-view? He's
Dude.
him against
Let's
Broken
save
Matt
that.
Hardy.
Let's save that for next episode.
Okay.
Because that's a lot to. That's another can of worms.
Literally a can of worms.
Literally a can of worms.
But
who goes over in this match?
Asuka, obviously.
I'm gonna say Asuka as well. I'd love to see the swerve though.
Or a DQ.
Woo.
Alexa Bliss comes out and helps her friend Nia Jax.
Well, that would be fun and well and good though. But Alexa Bliss is actually going to be in the first ever women's Elimination Chamber match as the champion against Bayley, Sasha Banks, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose of Absolution and Mickie James.
Well, figure it this way. She screws Asuka. Asuka does the same thing. New champion.
Yeah, you definitely could have something there.
Because figure, this is the first time Alexa Bliss has actually wrestled in, I want to say, a while. It seems like
it's
she's
been a
always
while.
having a speaking role.
A lot of segments.
Yeah.
A lot of segments.
So I think it wouldn't be a bad idea for her to get the belt taken off of her for a pay-per-view or two
and then get it back
at WrestleMania.
at WrestleMania. That would be a good. I think that'd be a way to change her face. I think.
I would say, and this is me looking, I think Sasha Banks wins. She's been on kind of a, not a role per se, but she's been on more of a character turn.
Sasha Banks versus Asuka at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I could see it, but I would rather have Asuka fight Charlotte.
Dude, that's the money match right there.
That's what I'm saying.
And let Ronda take on whoever.
Ronda's going to take on Stephanie.
I don't. Man, I'm going to agree with you that it would be Sasha that they put over. I'm nervous about this match. I love women's wrestling. It has gotten so much better since I was a kid. But dude, like the Hell in a Cell match from Charlotte against Sasha was nothing to be hyped for. It was cool because it was the first time ever.
But they didn't do anything with the cage.
Yeah, and
they could have just made it a cage match and it would have been just as fun.
Yeah, and I think with the Elimination Chamber, we might be looking at something very similar to that. I hope not. I hope that all the women get their time to shine in the chamber match. It would be fun. I'm going to agree with you and say Sasha Banks.
Well, there we go.
So moving on to the men's Elimination Chamber match with the first time ever. A lot of first time evers in this pay-per-view. First time ever, 7 participants in this match.
Let me stop you here.
Sure.
Kids, cover your ears. This is bullshit. I don't this 7 participants, why? What's the point?
So are they going to start off as a 3-way?
Yes.
That doesn't. No.
Why?
That's too many.
This is like putting too many toppings on your pizza. After a while, it starts tasting too bad.
Yeah, you're going to have like. I predict in 2019, WWE 2K19, you're going to have this match.
You're basically going to eventually.
This is a video game.
Dude, look, you have 7 participants. This is over a quarter of a Royal Rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, which you are to this podcast, I'm about to go Joey Diaz right now. I'm not going to curse as much. So, kids, cover your ears. Let me tell you something, dog. I'm looking at the card for this match, right? Let me tell you something right now. The Miz, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Braun Strowman, Elias, Finn Balor. They're all there.
The only people.
Those are your guys.
The only people you need in this match are. First off, John Cena.
I'm going to
Why?
disagree with you, bro. I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to let you finish your point. I'm going to let you finish, but I want to hear this point.
Okay, John Cena, I think, does not need to be in this match.
Okay,
Roman Reigns does not need to be in this match because look, we're smart wrestling fans.
Right.
We know he's going to face Brock Lesnar at some point in
Yes.
WrestleMania.
Yes.
Let him beat somebody else at another pay-per-view.
Okay.
Or this actually might be the last Raw pay-per-view before the WrestleMania. So I see why they're doing this, but it's dumb.
Yeah.
You don't need this many people. The Miz, do you really think he's going to beat John Cena? Do you think he's really going to beat Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins, I can see the allure of him being in this match, but honestly, as much as I like Seth Rollins, his main event quality has gone down for me.
Yeah.
For some reason, it just seems like he's a high mid-card, kind of like a Shinsuke Nakamura.
Ooh.
You know,
I could see that.
they
No, I'm
haven't
with you.
elevated him since his split from Triple H.
Right.
They, for some reason, messed that whole thing up. Braun Strowman, he can do whatever he wants. they don't need him to face Brock Lesnar right now.
Yeah.
Elias, way too early. And Finn Balor, as much as I like him, again, high mid-card.
Yeah.
So really, what does that leave you with? John Cena and Roman Reigns. One and the same.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is going to go over. I don't see why they're trying to insult our intelligence.
It's like Superman and Batman in a match, and we know that Batman's going to win.
Obviously. Well, look. Here's the deal.
I'm sorry. I called Roman Reigns Batman. For all you Batman fans, I apologize.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'd rather have him be Batman than Superman.
It makes sense.
But yeah, that was my rant. When I heard that Kurt Angle said, "Well, I'm going to put Roman Reigns, blah blah blah, but I'm going to also add Finn Balor and Seth Rollins." They need to get rid of Kurt Angle. This has been a failed experiment. So, I digress.
Okay. All right. To rebuttal, sir.
Well, allow me to retort.
So, The Miz in this match makes perfect sense. Okay, let me start off with this. Every man in this match makes absolute perfect sense, dude. They can all work. They all tell a story. And I'm going to give you my fantasy booking, if you will.
Go for it,
on
man.
all this.
That's what we're here for.
All right. The Miz does belong in this match. He is proven to be probably the best thing, and I'm sorry, I'm wearing a Ric Flair shirt myself. He's been the best thing since Ric Flair as far as that heel role. Now, oh yeah, I'm going there. I'm going deep. I'm going deep, dog. I'm going deep. The Miz shows so much promise to build a storyline, and I'm going to throw this out there. You're right. John Cena does not need to be in this match. But the story will be told between either Cena, Elias, or Miz, and that's your Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania.
I could see the Miz and Elias.
Okay.
I think the promos between those two, I never have a problem with two heels going at each other.
Yeah.
I think this could be a really good way for them if they're going that direction.
Yeah.
I'd be completely fine with that.
Well, here's the thing. The crowd response to Elias has been astronomical.
Yeah, he's been on fire.
He could be the babyface in this match against The Miz. I could see that. Cena is the obvious choice for a babyface against The Miz. You definitely have a story there. Seth Rollins, people like Seth Rollins. People adore Finn Balor. Finn Balor against Seth Rollins in some way, shape, or form in a match would be money. In some WWE capacity, it would make for a good story at some point.
See, I can see that, but I don't see a WrestleMania quality match.
Well, no. I'm not saying WrestleMania, but you could build something to where number one contendership, something like that. You have to build them up. They're high mid cards.
It'd be a good
cards.
SummerSlam match.
It would be a good SummerSlam match. But we're talking WrestleMania.
True.
Like, where are we going to go?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is the obvious given unless they swerve us and throw any one of these guys at Brock. More than likely, we're going to see Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Braun Strowman against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania could be one of two things. Amazing, given the time that Braun has shown that he is definitely a monster that can take on the beast. But it could also be a train wreck because of the conditioning that both of them have.
Yeah.
I've seen Braun wrestle. I love Braun Strowman. I'm a huge mark for Braun Strowman. But even I know that Braun Strowman looks very winded at the end of his 2-minute matches.
Yes.
But again, Braun versus Brock wouldn't be terrible.
But also, is it
But the quality, is it main event WrestleMania match?
Yes.
Probably not. You also have Elias, it's far too early for Elias, but this match puts Elias in a room to be talked about. Put all these guys, this is what they did in my eyes. They put all these guys in a room, and these are your top guys. These are the guys that reminiscent of, like, okay, and of course, I'm sorry, Finn Balor is your guy. It's Triple H's boy.
Yeah.
That's mijo. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's gonna be your guy that's going to be up there for a while as well. But if you look at these guys, this is your I'm going to revert to a 90s-esque thing here. This is your Stone Cold. This is your Undertaker. This is your Rock. This is your Big Show. This is your maybe Mick Foley. And I don't mean that in a literal sense. I mean that in a roster type sense.
Yeah, no,
your
I get
top
that.
guys,
Yeah.
you know? These are your guys right now. These are the guys that have to be pushed to get to the next level, which is the WWE Championship. These are your guys that you're going to be talking about. Who's next in line for the title? It's got to be any one of these guys at this point.
Yeah, but my only issue is, and this is my issue, not with this match, but with John Cena. The fact that he can become a free agent and hop between SmackDown and Raw
Whenever he wants.
That's a big issue for me because then it's kind of like, oh, John Cena can go for the WWE title. He can go for basically whatever. He has carte blanche.
Yeah.
Look, I know he's been there a long time, but it just, for some reason, it doesn't work for me.
Right.
Because then it just becomes, well, he can call his shot whenever he wants. It's like he's got a built-in Money in the Bank whenever he wants it.
You've got Cena at Wrestle. Look, all these guys, in my opinion, they're all going to be at Mania in some way, shape, or form.
Cena has to go against Taker. That's the only match That's
your out.
I can see that I would be satisfied with John Cena being in. I don't want to see him in the title picture because they're going to have him break Ric Flair's record at some point.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it at WrestleMania.
I think it happens when Cena hangs it up. I think that's when he goes on his farewell tour, and that's it. I think that's when he wins the title and breaks Flair's record, and that's it. Goes out on top.
Yep.
That's what you want. You know? That's what you want for your golden boy.
So, again, who do you think it's going to be?
Realistically, it's going to be Roman Reigns.
It has to be.
In a hopeful world, Finn Balor.
Yeah, hopeful, but the problem is you got to think main event at WrestleMania.
It's got to be Roman Reigns.
It's the only way
at this point.
It's the only way you're going to get the crowd reaction you want.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, our prediction, Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about this at the next on the next episode, and we can kind of give a little recap, a quick recap and whatnot. But yeah, man, we're definitely gonna be looking into the sheets and seeing what else is going on. This card is not done yet. I think there's a few more matches that might be announced, but we'll see what happens.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. All right. We'll check you guys out right after this.
Yes.
Legend says there is a place in San Antonio where there are battles of the mind and trivia, loteria, and celebrations where we drink and dance to live music. El Luchador, located at 622 Roosevelt in Southtown San Antonio.
Yes, El Luchador, located here in San Antonio, Texas. Be sure to check them out on social media. We're going to have an awesome event out there pretty soon. But before we talk about that, I want to go ahead and announce February 16th at Mi Mercado Event Center in San Antonio, Texas at 227 New Laredo Highway. CTCW is hosting the second annual Manny Villalobos Memorial Battle Royal. Lots of homegrown talent straight out of San Antonio, Texas. Be sure to check that out. Bring the kids, bring the family. It's going to be good times. We also have a jammed-packed weekend of wrestling with none other than an event happening in Austin, Texas, making its return. Alex, why don't you go ahead and fill them in about that?
That's right. It is the return of the famed promotion Wrestle Circus at 800 Congress Avenue this Saturday, February the 17th. Some of the people that you will be seeing on that card are Brody King, the boys from ROH fame.
Really?
Gentlemen, yeah, man. They get to wrestle sometimes.
That's tight.
They're really cool, yeah.
Awesome.
Trent, also known as Trent Beretta from New Japan Pro Wrestling, will be
Right
there.
on.
Matt Cross. Now, if you haven't seen Matt Cross wrestle, go to YouTube right now, obviously after you listen to our podcast, and take a look at him. He is one of the most underrated wrestlers today. He's been wrestling for a good decade right now, and I know my friend John. John, if you're listening, shout out to you, buddy. You put me on the Matt Cross. Amazing wrestler. Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio Sky.
And quite possibly the coolest main event you'll be seeing this month. 2 champions going head to head.
Okay.
Tessa Blanchard. Tessa
Nice.
3 belts.
Ooh.
Girlfriend of Ricochet. Going head to head with the Wolverine lookalike, the Machine, Brian Cage.
That's going to be fun, man.
Now, this is a champion versus champion match. This is going to be so cool.
That's going to be cool.
I think both of them are going to put on a hell of a show. If you can make it out there, please do. I
Yeah,
know
for
tickets
sure.
are selling out quick. So do yourself a favor and get tickets now.
Yeah, man. Like Wrestle Circus is kind of like Pro Wrestling Guerrilla,
Yeah.
right? Like it's kind of very a very tight knit club kind of thing. Like
You get some good matches.
yeah, Austin,
Every
Texas. Much love to Austin, Texas. You guys get some really good wrestling for you guys out there. Do not miss out on an opportunity to see some great wrestling and support the wrestlers, man. They go out there and they travel. They do all this. You know, everything has a price. Sorry if you were listening to that. And,
Sorry if you were
I
listening
missed
with
you.
headphones.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, yeah, man. So that's gonna be really cool. Good weekend of wrestling. But let's not forget, April 5th is the date that we are going all in, and we are having Wrestle Trivia 2. Now, if you don't know what Wrestle Trivia is, just think this: it's a group of your buddies. Grab your friends, neighbors, anyone that's into wrestling. Form a team, a stable, if you will. You can be a singles competitor. You can be in a famous tag team. We can do
Freebird.
I like Freebird. But anyway, Freebird rules.
That can be somebody's name if you want to take it.
If you want
Freebirds.
to, we're giving that to you gratis. Or you can hold up 4 and have your own foursome of a team. We host a event called Wrestle Trivia at El Luchador Bar here in San Antonio, Texas. Definitely a fun night. We had a blast at the last one that we did. We have some really awesome prizes in store for you guys. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and unveil the first prize at Wrestle Trivia. The first prize is going to be a copy of To Be the Man comic created by Jared Davis. This is a comic, guys, that you don't want to miss out on. It is a comic with wrestling. It is a comic with zombies, demons, ghosts, all kinds of good stuff. It's fun for the whole family.
And if you want to hear more, listen to our last episode where we interviewed Jared. Fantastic, great brother. And again, I can't say this enough. All the best to him and his project.
Definitely. This is a comic that is pushed by Bruce Pritchard, a.k.a. Brother Love of Something to Wrestle With podcast, as well as The Morning Deuce with Bruce. You want this comic. You need this comic. So come on out to Wrestle Trivia. Get yourself a free copy of this. All you have to do is get some friends to come with you.
All you have to do is get some friends.
Yeah, just get some friends. Answer some wrestling questions. We're going to do our best to stump you. And just come on out. Have a great time with us. We're going to have some awesome vendors out there. We also have some prizes that we're going to announce as we get closer to the event. So we definitely want you guys to come out, hang out with us. Let's talk wrestling like us wrestling fans do. Alex, I don't think there's anything left to say, but
We out.